saving lives, being a fucking hero. That kid, he was long gone, buried. This guy was pushing 300 pounds. 300 pounds. So fat I had to sew an athletic sock into the crotch of my work pants just so they wouldn't rip when I knelt down to bait a rat trap. Yeah, let that sink in. Bending over was a major fucking effort. That was me. A sorry, miserable sight. The mask, though, I almost liked the mask. Dual filters jutting out, making me anonymous. It protected me from the fumes, sure, but it also protected me from me. If I caught my reflection in a glass door, a stainless steel counter, it wasn't David Goggins looking back. It was some faceless, shapeless drone going through the motions. It wasn't me. Because the real me, I couldn't stand to look at him. Inside these places after midnight, it was its own kind of wilderness. Keys to dozens of restaurants, alarm codes memorized. Flip the lights, watch the roaches scatter like guilty thoughts. Spraying poison, checking sticky traps for dead rodents. Bag 'em, dump 'em. Check the bug zappers, clean out the moths and flies. Half hour maybe. Then back in the truck on to the next stop. A dozen a night. Gotta hit 'em all before dawn. Maybe that sounds disgusting to you. And yeah, looking back, it disgusts me too. But not the job itself. It was honest work, necessary work. Shit, I cleaned latrines in Air Force boot camp after getting on the wrong side of my drill sergeant, made him shine. You could eat off that floor. I took my discipline then. I was happy just to be there, to have the opportunity. 4 years later, that guy was gone, numb, miserable in my marriage, numb to my life. Accepted this pathetic reality as my fate. The would-be warrior, the PJ prospect. Reduced to a cockroach sniper on the graveyard shift. Just another zombie selling his time, waiting for the clock to run out. How did I get here? How does anyone fall so far? It starts with quitting. Not usually a big, dramatic quit. It starts with the small ones. The little compromises, the excuses, the path of least resistance. For me, the big one, the one that tipped the first domino, happened back in Air Force pararescue training. Remember I told you about that kid? 175 pounds, 62, fast, strong, crushing PT. Star recruit in my flight, training for my dream job. Guardian angels with fangs dropping behind enemy lines. I was killing it. Push-ups, sit-ups, flutter kicks, running top of the class. 1 point behind the honor grad, everything lined up. Except one thing they didn't really advertise, water confidence. Fancy name for 10 weeks of them trying to fucking drown you. And me, I was scared shitless of the water. Grew up poor, no swim lessons. Avoided pools. First time I really faced it was Boy Scout camp, 12 years old. Had to swim a mile in a lake for the merit badge. Dog paddled, swallowed half the lake, improvised some fucked up backstroke to survive. Got the badge, but the fear stayed. 19 years old, facing the PJ swim test 500 meters, timed freestyle. Didn't know freestyle. Bought swimming for dummies, studied the diagrams, practiced every day. Hated putting my face in the water. Wasn't buoyant like most guys. If I stopped moving for a second, I'd sink like a stone. Panic would set in, make it worse. Eventually passed the test, but competent is a million miles from comfortable, and comfortable is light years from confident. Especially when water feels like it's trying to actively kill you. Water confidence training in the PJ pipeline is designed to find your breaking point. Bobbing was one of the worst for me. Fully kitted twin 80-liter steel tanks, 16-pound weight belt. Loaded down, heavy as hell. And guess what? Couldn't breathe off the tanks. Had to walk backward down the pool slope, 3 feet to 10 feet deep. Mind already spinning. What the fuck are you doing here? You can't swim. They're gonna find you out. You're an imposter. Time slows down. Chest tightens, lungs screaming for air. Relaxation is key, they tell you. Easy to say when you're not terrified. My jaw was clenched like a vice. Pushing up from the bottom, gasping for a gulp of air, sinking back down. Just breathing was a victory. Then switch. Fins off your feet onto your hands. Propel yourself up with one arm pull, no kicking. 5 minutes of that felt like an eternity. Barely got my face high enough to breathe, burning oxygen like crazy. Started seeing stars. Meeting the wizard, they called it blacking out. Passing evolutions didn't mean shit. Inside, I was suffering. Every night, fixated on the next day's torture. Couldn't sleep. Fear turned to resentment. Looked at my classmates, mostly white guys, seemed so easy for them, floating effortlessly while I was churning like a broken motor, defying gravity just to stay alive. Felt like the only black man again back in Indiana, isolated, drowning from the inside out. That cocktail of fear and rage brewed in the darkness while they slept became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Failure felt inevitable. My mind, unchecked, was turning against me. The quitting mind was taking over. It peaked during buddy breathing, 6 weeks in. Partner up, grip forearms, share one snorkel. Instructors thrashing you, trying to rip it away. Supposed to be near the surface, but me, negative buoyancy, sinking, dragging my partner down. Swim up, try to clear the snorkel, get a breath, pass it back. Instructors all over me, yelling, splashing. Usually got a mouthful of water instead of air. Operating on an oxygen deficit from the jump. They saw me struggling, targeted me. This fucker's not giving me a fair shot, that's what I thought then. Looking back, he was doing his job, identifying the weak link me. I passed that evolution too, but 11 more to go. 4 more weeks of water torture. Needed it, yeah, we jump over water, but I didn't want it anymore. The fear, the nightly dread, it was too much. Then a way out appeared. Medical check results came back. Sickle cell trait, not the full disease, just the trait. Back then, they thought it increased risk of cardiac arrest during extreme exercise. Air Force didn't want me dropping dead, pulled me from training, medical discharge. I put on a show, acted pissed off like my dream was stolen. Inside, fucking ecstatic, relief washed over me like a tidal wave. Week later, doctors reversed course. Said the trait wasn't well understood, risk maybe not so high. Let me decide. Reported back to the master sergeant. Missed too much time, he said. If I wanted to continue, had to start over. Day 1, week 1. Another 10 weeks of water torture, terror, rage, insomnia. These days, tell me I gotta run longer, harder than everyone else. Roger that, keep moving, back then, still half-baked. Physically strong, yeah, mind weak, couldn't face it again. Looked the MSGT in the eye, lied through my teeth. You know, Master Sergeant, this sickle cell thing, doctor doesn't know much, it's bothering me. He nodded, signed the papers. Cited sickle cell. On paper, I didn't quit, but I knew the truth. The guy I am today wouldn't give 2 fucks about sickle cell trait, still have it. You don't get rid of it. Back then, an obstacle appeared, I folded, quit. Moved on to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Tactical Air Control Party, TACP, challenging work, intelligent people, but never felt proud. Knew I was a quitter, let fear dictate my future. Buried the shame. Where? In the gym, at the kitchen table. Powerlifting. Eating. Layering on mass, muscle, and fat. Last days in the Air Force, 255 pounds. After discharge, kept bulking. Nearly 300 pounds, wanted to be big, big enough to hide David Goggins. Tucked that scared 175-pound kid away inside 21-inch biceps and a flabby gut. Grew a burly mustache. Looked intimidating. Everyone saw the beast. Inside, knew I was a pussy. And that feeling, it haunts you. It eats you alive from the inside, so there I was. Years later, working security at St. Vincent's Hospital, midnight shift, minimum wage. $700 a month, a fucking ghost. Saw the Ecolab truck pull up sometimes. Talked to the exterminator one night. Said they were hiring. Free truck, no boss looking over your shoulder. 35% pay raise, didn't think twice. Didn't think about the poison, the risks, didn't think at all. Just took the path of least resistance. Let the dominoes fall, killing me slowly. Numb but not entirely clueless. Knew deep down I'd started this chain reaction myself back when I quit PJ training. That's the pit. That's rock bottom. Working the graveyard shift, spraying for cockroaches, weighing almost 300 pounds, hiding from myself, haunted by the quitter I knew I was. Then one morning, routine. Ecolab shift ends 7 a.m. Steak and Shake drive-through, large chocolate milkshake. 7-Eleven, box of Hostess mini chocolate donuts. Gobbled them down on the drive home to the nice apartment I couldn't afford in Carmel, Indiana. Living with my wife, Pam, yeah, that Pam, the girl from Pizza Hut whose dad called me a nigger, and her daughter. What does that say about me? Living a lie, drowning in credit card debt. Pam not even working. Nothing made sense. 70 mph down the highway, mainlining sugar, listening to classic rock. Then Simon and Garfunkel, Sound of Silence. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Truth. Echoing in the car in my soul. Darkness was my friend. Worked in the dark, hid my true self. Looked like a beast nobody would fuck with. Inside, numb, afraid, weighed down by